Well, we got a live group tonight, don't we? Yeah, that means y'all not playing. Y'all really trying to try, because see what it is, and you all have to start getting yourself ready, and all because there are other certain extraterrestrial civilizations that are interdimensional, intergalactic, that are getting in touch with you all through mediums and different people, you know what I mean, and speaking to you through biological forms, and also through your own consciousness. They're just projecting information into this earth realm. And some people that's on that frequency are starting to receive these revelations and this information from these beings.
The greatest and prime example of which is our master teacher and spiritual guide, Pamanzul, otherwise known as Amun-Re. Nitir.
But what it is there's a galactic confederation that's out there of beings that have reached a certain level of consciousness that they all work together because they're evolved enough and civilized enough to belong to that group. And they're not going to start killing each other, disrespecting each other, doing stupid things. Are you following me? Because they reached the conscious level of awareness that they realize that we are all what? That's why Jesus and them always said to people when they came, I'm from above and you are from below, and my Father's house there are many mansions, he said, do unto your brother and your sister as you would do unto yourself, because he realized that he was his brother's keeper. He was his brother and sister was him, or merely a reflection of himself. So when you reach that level of awareness, you'll be much slower to do harm to your brother or your sister when you realize it's you. Are you following me? But down on this level of awareness, where people think that they're individuals, you know, they think this is me, and it's me against the world, this is me and this is you, then anything might happen or erupt. Because differences create what? Differences create differences. But they're only perceived, they're only illusory. The spell is hard to break on the Nubian race in particular, as because they, unfortunately, were selected out of the earth caste to have the spell placed on them and a much more concentrated effect than it was on the rest of the populace, even though the spell is placed on everybody, Canaanites and everybody's under the spell of illusion. But they were placed under a spell. In other words, this is the coldest spell, to make you think that there's some type of a God that's out there, unprovable and unknowable, to separate you from your own divinity, from the reality that you are God, and God is the El Hayu, the life force inside of you, right? Now, the spell went a lot deeper with the Nubian, inasmuch as that this illusory God out there was depicted as a bald-headed white man with a beard. And then they told you that you were created an image and likeness of God, and that's not your physical image. So it made you feel even more destitute or left out or separated from your own divinity. That's one of the examples of how the spell is much more perpetrated, much more deep on the Nubian race, okay? Because the spell is cast on everybody. I mean, white people under the spell too, that they believe that God is out there. Even if it's a white God, it means that if he's out there, then it's not them. Are you following me? So it separates them from their own divinity. They can't be God if he's up there, okay? So if you're not God, you can't do the things that God does. Am I right? But when you have the image of this God that's not even in your image and likeness, but the opposite of it, it makes the spell even much more, devastating. Which is all an illusion, because there ain't no damn God out there. There is no out there. You're God, every one of us. The experience of Source experiencing itself. Are you following me?
As our master teacher explained to us very clearly in Actual Fact, Book 17, you are the source. We are the source. Okay, the question is, how did we fall?
And they fell from grace. You know, they're fallen angels. They fell from building pyramids down to picking cotton. That was the fall. That was a serious fall. You know, I mean, people invoking images of somebody falling, little fat babies with wings falling out the sky. No, they fell down in conscious awareness. They fell down from knowing who and what they were, down to enosites, forgetful beings, of not knowing who and what they are.
That's right, sister.
You are responsible. That's what God is, the ability to respond, and the helping hand you're looking for is the end of your own arm. And the beauty of it is that you all are tired of it, and you're waking up now. I'm sick and tired of it, and I'm not going to have it anymore, or whatever you call it, right? So what it is now that you all are knocking on all the right doors, asking all the right questions, talking to all the right people to try to get where you need to be in order to remember. You know, in other words, if you separated yourself as an enocite, a forgetful being, put an arm over here, ear over there, a leg over there, you're trying to remember your body members, put yourself back together, put the whole thing, put the puzzle back together again so that you can remember who and what you are. Are you following me? That's what's happening right now. And that's what the transformation is going to be about. So what happens is that, when you start raising up in transformation, I told you there'll be times that there'll be some of you that'll be involved with men and women, for example, that are vibrating on a much lower frequency, and they're not going to make this transition, right? They're not even trying to figure. They're comfortable walking under the sun, feeling heat. They're not trying to. They frown up when you ask questions like, "Where did it come from?" Or, "Do you ever think?" They don't care about that. They're content to feel the heat of it. Are you following me? They're just physical in their perspective, and so they're not even trying to raise up in their vibration. And so what will happen is that eventually you all will start going to have differences that will create differences, and then him or her going to be acting negative towards you. That'll create a separation, and you won't find them in your reality very much longer. And then you look around, you be on the same planet but in a different world. They won't be with you. But you will be raising up in the vibration like the guy that asked the question before, and you find yourself in another situation where you be surrounded by people that vibrating on the same frequency or with like-minded others. That's what will be happening. So your world will consist of people that's vibrating on a higher frequency, a higher conscious level. Are you following me?
The question is, how will you know when you're raising up in vibration or starting to stir the consciousness?
Well, it seems like you already are. So you raising up to another. You're raising up in degrees, but everybody's not going to be able to make this. In fact, one of the scriptures was saying that 9 out of every 1,999 to the 5 ones of the garden. I don't know how accurate that is, but I just want to give you all an indication of the problem. The difficulty, the problem for them. That's not your problem.
The sister asks, how can we prevent them from hindering our progress, from hindering us from transforming?
Yeah, you're right about that, but the thing is, remember I told you, what's the devil that can get you to hell?
It's the one inside of you that you have to be concerned with, right?
That's the one you got to be careful of. The devil inside of you. That's the one that can get you, that makes the determination of whether you go to heaven or hell. So just make sure that you realize that your mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy. It can also run riots. Be careful of that. Watch out for the devil inside of you. Right? That's the one that can get you to heaven or hell. Don't worry about outside devil. How's a devil outside you going to get you to hell? To a spiritual hell. And there's no physical way to get somebody to a spiritual hell. Are you following me? But if you have a corrupted spirit or a negative mind, and you allow your lower angels to guide your path, then you're going to end up in one of those lower vibratory hells yourself. Be careful of that. You know what I mean? In other words, don't be so busy looking at the splinter in your brother's eye you don't see the beam in your own. You be out there, everybody's running around looking for the devil, the devil, and pointing at the devil out there. But remember, when you point a finger, that there's always 3 more pointing back at you. I'm not saying don't worry about it. I'm saying is put your emphasis on the devil that'll get you to hell, the one inside you, okay? Master that, and then then what happens is that you raise up into a frequency or a conscious existence where that the devils the so-called devils that you say are out there, they can't exist on that vibration, so they're in effect are not part of your reality anymore. Are you following me? When you conquer the devil inside you, then you don't attract devils outside of you. Did you hear me?